I deny these allegations. I expand on this denial as follows hereunder. 11.1. IDAC has a prima facie criminal case against Lt-Gen Dumisani Khumalo and other officials at Crime Intelligence. That matter was not pursued for any political purpose at the instance of any political actor.
You're not aware of Mr. Adams also referring this matter to the National Commissioner?
No, Chair.
Or to the Minister?
No, Chair.
Either the Minister or the National Commissioner?
Not at all.
At the time, I did not recall receiving anything from the Office of the Minister.
So why didn't you say no? Why didn't you say I don't recall? You definitively say no, not at all.
Not at all. Correct.
So what?
This is that Ms. Sello is suggesting to you, you solicited that affidavit. Do you now agree?
I agree.
And the contents of the email must be given to General Khan, and thereafter the Colonel must delete the email. Shortly after the call, the Colonel received an email from a Gmail address bearing the name Andrea Johnson at...
Colonel, you don't have to read the Gmail address into the record.
Okay.
So you can just start with the subject header.
The subject header of the email was Petle complaint. The email had photo attachments and an audio file. The email contained photographs of the A1 statement of Brigadier Petle, at the time a crime intelligence officer, in a criminal complaint by her against General Khan for assault common and intimidation, as well as a J88 report, medical report, and an audio recording of General Khan taken at the time of the alleged incident. The alleged incident took place on 26 June 2018, and the A1 was commissioned on the same day at Silverton Police Station, and a case opened under Silverton case number 42206 2018. The email from Andrea Johnson Gmail address to the Colonel's private email address was a forwarded email originating from Barry Bateman, who at the time was a senior journalist. Mr. Bateman had sent the Petle complaint email with the attachment to the Andrea Johnson Gmail address on the 3rd of July 2018. The Colonel printed the email and attachments, placed it then in an envelope, and gave the envelope to General Khan. She did not delete the email as requested by the female caller.
Colonel, if we can just pause there, and if you can go to the exhibit bundle file and go to page 5, just to confirm that this is what the Colonel confirmed to you was the email that she had received.
That is correct, Commissioners. That is the email that what was provided to me that she received. And she was able to retrieve the email from her email box.
So on page 5, what we see is that at the top page, the top of the page, it says forward Petle complaint, and then it has Andrea Johnson and a Gmail email address to the Colonel at her Gmail address, and it is sent from my iPad, meaning that the Andrea Johnson sent the email from her iPad, and email is dated Wednesday, 4 July 2018 at 12:42 p.m. Correct?
That's correct.
And then just below that, it says begin forwarded message. So she was forwarding a message that she had originally received from Barry Bateman on the 3rd of July 2018 at 18:05:01 to Andrea Johnson, subject same Petle complaint. And then there is a message in his email saying, I've included the recording, signed BB.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
In June 2022, after the meeting with the Colonel, I wanted to interview Mr. Bateman regarding the email he sent on the 3rd of July 2018. I contacted Mr. Andrew Leask of AfriForum because Mr. Bateman was now employed at AfriForum as a media manager. Captain McLean and I interviewed Mr. Bateman in the presence of Mr. Leask and Advocate Andrea, also of AfriForum. Mr. Bateman informed us that he received the email attachments on the 3rd of July 2018 via WhatsApp from a source that he was not willing to disclose. Mr. Bateman said that Advocate Andrea Johnson, who at the time was a senior public prosecutor in the National Prosecuting Authority, requested the information from him, being the A1 statement J88 and audio file, and he complied with the request on the same day. I could not remember why Advocate Johnson requested the information.
He could not.
Sorry, he could not remember.
Advocate Johnson, we're dealing with the referral by Mr. Adams in terms of Section 27. And you, just to recap, you said that apart from seeing him on a television screen, you don't know Mr. Adams at all.
That is correct, Chair.
And you didn't receive the referral yourself when it was first referred to IDAC.
That is correct.
Just remind us again, what was the date of that referral?
The referral would have been in the second week of November 2024.
Okay.
I would like us to consider, in relation to the issues under discussion now, the position you assumed before the ad hoc committee. And for that purpose, I would like to refer you to file 3. And in particular, if we could go to page 559. That is CJC 375, which starts at 523. That's a transcript of your testimony before the ad hoc committee.
Sorry, Counsel, you want me to go to page?
559. Now, let's start, it's not numbered, the lines, but you see the line that reads the committee adjourned for lunch.
That is correct.
I want to pick it up from there. Advocate Arendse says to you, we are dealing with a referral by Mr. Adams in terms of Section 27. You said that apart from seeing him on television screen, you do not know him at all. You say that is correct. You did not receive the referral yourself when it was received by IDAC. That is correct. What is the date of that referral? The second week of November 2024. So before ad hoc, you suggested that you didn't receive the referral affidavit from Mr. Adams. The last 2 days before the commissioners here, you indicated that you received it and you actually triggered an internal process resulting in a Section 2813 application for a preliminary investigation.
Correct.
The two are contradictory. Which is the true position? Is it what you stated to the ad hoc committee or what you are stating to this commission?
I took the question at the time to mean that I received it from Mr. Adams. That is why I prefaced it as I did by not knowing him. My office did receive the Section 27. That is the position. I received a Section 27 deposed to by Mr. Adams and dated the 21st of November, 2024.
But how could you so understand when Mr. Arence's question is very direct? You did not receive the referral yourself when it was received by IDAC. That's the question.
I did receive the referral.
Yeah, and your answer to the ad hoc committee is, that is correct, I did not receive it.
That's what I took it to mean, that I did not receive it from Mr. Adams, but I did receive the referral.
Where then did you receive it from?
The referral, when it came in an envelope to IDAC, to the officers, through the normal document receival process, and then it was submitted to my office.
Okay. So you received it from IDAC. That's what you wanted to clarify to Mr. Arence. Didn't receive it directly from Mr. Adams by hand, you received it from IDAC.
Correct.
Okay, your engagement doesn't go that far.
You're not aware of Mr. Adams also referring this matter to the National Commissioner?
No, Chair.
Or to the Minister?
No, Chair.
Either the Minister or the National Commissioner?
Not at all.
Did you receive, there was an email that was sent to your office by the then Minister's Chief of Staff, Mr. Gabinde, that the matter had been referred to IDAC, and also a further, sorry, if I may just read it to you. It's why does the public service always have the date right at the bottom? It's on the 11th of November 2024. It's addressed to the Investigating Director, IDAC, referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27. Attached, please find, for ease of reference, a copy of written correspondence addressed to the Honourable Minister of Police, Honourable Senzo Mkhunu, by Member of Parliament, Honourable Fadiel Adams. The allegations contained therein implicate very senior members of the South African Police and are viewed in a serious light, and case dockets were registered as per the following case numbers. Then there's one Langplater case number and 3 Orlando case numbers. Due to the nature of the allegations made by the Honourable Fadiel Adams, which seem to be quite sensitive and which contains allegations of criminal misconduct, this office requests the Investigating Director to consider investigating the same. Honourable Fadiel Adams was advised by the office to await your decision in this regard, and it's signed by Mtokozizi Gabinde, Chief of Staff, 11 November 2024. Do you recall seeing?
Honourable Chair and members, yes, we did receive such a letter. IDAC didn't act on that letter because it's not a Section 27 referral. He wrote to us to consider and says it is a Section 27 referral. There is the person who's making the referral, Honorable Chair and members, which is how Section 27 reads, must depose to an affidavit. There was no affidavit. This was Mr. Nkabinde writing and alerting us to a matter. We were approached by Mr. Adams, and when we were approached by Mr. Adams, we then asked Mr. Adams to depose to a Section 27 affidavit. And so even though that letter talks to dockets, we didn't go and get those dockets at that stage because we didn't have a proper Section 27 referral. So we had to get a statement from Mr. Adams after Mr. Adams approached our office.
Now, the second leg of your engagement with Mr. Arendse on this issue, towards the bottom of that page, Mr. Arendse says, you are not aware of Mr. Adams also referring this matter to the National Commissioner of Police, the National Commissioner or the Minister. You say, no, not at all. Do you see where I'm reading?
Yes.
But we know after our engagement yesterday that MK16 tells us otherwise. Your entire basis for being persuaded by the referral is precisely because you said these issues had been raised with the minister or the minister's office had purported to refer this matter to you in terms of Section 27. We had quite a lengthy engagement, and you too, with the commissioners about what was the complaint to the minister. We suggested that it related to interference and interception. You insisted that it related to what is contained in the Section 27. Going with your understanding, then it can be correct that you did not know that he had complained to the minister, because we know our annexure MK16, which you confirmed you received, and you responded to, although you don't quite recall in what terms, tells us otherwise.
That is correct. At the time, I did not recall receiving anything from the Office of the Minister.
Not at all.
Advocate Johnson, that referral that Ms. Sello referred you to exchange with Advocate Arendse, where you say you were not aware that a complaint has been laid with the minister. Can I ask you to repeat your explanation for why you answered the way you did?
At the time, I did not remember that letter. At the time when I was at the ad hoc committee.
You did not?
I did not recall that we had got a letter from the Office of the Minister.
Okay, so it's the same explanation.
It's the same explanation.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Sello.
Just to recap, you said that apart from seeing him on a television screen, you don't know Mr. Adams at all.
That is correct, Chair.
And you didn't receive the referral yourself when it was first referred to IDAC.
That is correct.
Just remind us again, what was the date of that referral?
The referral would have been in the second week of November 2024.
Okay. You're not aware of Mr. Adams also referring this matter to the National Commissioner?
No, Chair.
Or to the Minister?
No, Chair.
Either the Minister or the National Commissioner?
Not at all.
And when, after the referral in November, when did the matter land on your desk? And what matter was that? By the time his referral landed on a desk, what was all contained in it? What work would have been done on it?
At the time I would have received it would have been around about the middle of December. But I had been informed before that that I will be getting a Section 28 application for consideration to authorize an investigation, as there had been a Section 27 referral by one Mr. Adams. But I didn't get any documents or a full briefing, so I would have received the application itself around about the middle of December. But the matter had come to IDAC by the second week of November already. That is an affidavit to the investigators in terms of the Section 27.
Instructed Chief Perumal to be in contact with Mr. Adams to obtain Section 27 affidavit.
That is correct.
Now, I want to suggest to you, so effectively, IDAC solicited a Section 27 affidavit from Mr. Adams.
I tell you now, when you look at the 27, we didn't take the 27. They would have contacted him, and I guess this is what we got. I speak under correction. Mr. Perumal would have to answer what he got from Mr. Adams, but what we got was a 27 dated the 21st of November, 2024.
That's fine. My question is, that document you're holding in your hand, IDAC solicited it from Mr. Adams. You received a letter from the minister. You then directed Mr. Perumal to act on that and contact Mr. Adams and
Ask him for his...
Ask him. So you solicited a Section 27 affidavit from a would-be complainant.
I don't agree with the solicited.
Ma'am?
I don't agree with solicited. We would have asked him. Because, you see, I'm going into the detail that's not mine and not in my head, and I don't want to sound like
It's yours, Advocate Johnson. You are the one who gave an instruction to Chief Perumal to contact Mr. Adams. So Ms. Sello's question relates to that. That has nothing to do. Mr. Perumal would then have been the actor on your instruction. That's where the question is. It has nothing to do with what Mr. Perumal then did down the line. So please do not deflect the question and refer to what Mr. Perumal would have done or not done. Can you please respond to the question?
then we would have obtained the statement.
At your instance, that's the substance of the question.
That is correct.
That's what Ms. Sello means when she says to you, so you solicited the affidavit, because what came out of your instruction that please contact Mr. Adams was the submission of the Section 27 affidavit. So it's on that basis that Ms. Sello is suggesting to you, you solicited that affidavit. Do you now agree?
I agree.
As you sit here today, is that appropriate of IDAC to be soliciting complaints from members of the public on the basis of which then IDAC initiates investigations?
No, we're not supposed to solicit. And that is why I'm saying I tell Mr. Perumal to engage Mr. Adams. I don't know if this was a prepared affidavit already. It was to say to him, we received a letter from the minister. We are engaging you. So whether this was already prepared or not, at the time, we got this affidavit.
Okay, so then you recall when we're looking at MK16, the last sentence in MK16 before the signature by Mr. Ngabinde states, Honorable Fadiel Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. So it's fair then to conclude that your decision that you communicated to Mr. Adams is prepare an affidavit, Section 27 affidavit, and submit to IDAC. That's what you must have advised Mr. Adams based on your testimony.
That is what the advice would have been.
Okay. You intended for Adhoc to rely on that statement.
That is correct. I did not recall remembering, that's stupid English. I did not recall receiving that from the Office of the Minister.
Yes, Commissioner.
You see, Advocate Johnson, your testimony yesterday was that IDAC received the minister's letter, and
Correct.
the minister's letter was unhelpful. And you instructed Perumal to get an affidavit from Adams. Now, that's completely different to what you said to the ad hoc, because the impression you are creating here is that it is Adams who came to IDAC, and this thing landed on IDAC's desk, when in fact yesterday we agreed that based on the minister's letter, or rather the letter from the minister's office, it is IDAC that reached out to Mr. Adams. So which is which now? Because here it's Mr. Adams who's coming to IDAC, but yesterday you were quite clear that it's the minister who came to IDAC. The letter from the minister was not helpful. You then instructed Perumal to reach out to Adams, and that's how the Section 27 affidavit came about.
That is the correct position, Commissioner Khumalo. When I say that Mr. Adams came to IDAC, it is Mr. Adams who wanted IDAC to deal with his matter. But the position, as I indicated yesterday, is the position of having first received a letter from the minister. I did indicate that there were no attachments. I therefore asked Mr. Perumal to please engage Mr. Adams, as Mr. Adams wanted IDAC to deal with his matter.
Which speaks of involvement of these high-ranking police officials in the manipulation of promotional and security vetting processes to unduly benefit a civilian person. My reading of that is that it speaks to potential criminal activity. Would you agree with me? Or?
That's correct.
Then I go to paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 speaks to highly skilled and qualified senior police officers who applied for the post being overlooked by the CI management who favored Mrs. Mukwelo over them.
Correct.
Now, I analyze that to be definitely not criminal, based on the facts stated there. It sounds more like a HR complaint. Would you agree with me, or do you consider those allegations to point to criminal conduct?
Yes.
Please.
Oh, I wanted you to please start because you spoke over each other.
Okay, we are now in paragraph 3. So we have agreed as to the allegations in 2, what they potentially point to. Yes. So I say, from what's in 2, that points to potential criminal conduct.
That's correct, Chair.
Okay, then I turn my attention to paragraph 3, and I say, the deponent states that he was informed that there were several highly skilled and qualified senior police officers who applied for the post but were overlooked by the management who favored Mrs. Mukwelo over them. Full stop. Now, I say my interpretation of that is this particular paragraph speaks more to HR issues regarding promotions and appointments and does not suggest any criminal conduct as worded. And I'm checking whether that's your understanding, or do you see criminal conduct in paragraph 3?
When you look at paragraph 3 in isolation, it talks about, it's like an HR, somebody that didn't get promoted or was overlooked for promotion. Paragraph 3 only.
Yes.
But when you take paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 and you put it together, it flows from paragraph 2, that something took place, and as a result, people that were more qualified didn't get that particular post. But when you look at paragraph 2 is telling you that there is possible criminality here.
Yes.
Paragraph 3 is just something that flows out. It is not so much of a focus because it's other people that didn't get promoted. This is not about other people that didn't get promoted. This is more about criminal conduct in paragraph 2.
So I'm not going back.
Yes.
Okay. And I think that is where my fourth line lay, is understanding what the reasonable person, and went back into subjective.
That was my error. It is an error. It was an honest error. The test isn't subjective, the test is objective. Here I brought a subjective mind to bear on the information the person gave us.
And Advocate Johnson, that is apparent from paragraph 4, because Mr. Adams says none of these people were suitable to be appointed to the post. That's his personal view, without grounds to support that.
Correct.
He doesn't even say they did not meet the minimum criteria, they did not have the qualifications. He just says, you appointed somebody from BMW as a brigadier, and then he says, not suitable, full stop. Why are they not suitable? Do they not meet the qualifications? He does not even identify the offense that he suspects is being committed there. Because appointment of somebody from BMW on its own does not tell you anything. Because my immediate question would be, what is wrong with appointing somebody, an engineer from BMW? If the position required an engineer, what would be wrong with that?
Correct.
That would be my immediate question. And I would need that to be addressed in the affidavit itself. Because the entry point, according to section 27, is that the affidavit must specify 1, 2, 3. Not that it must set out the suspicion and then the grounds IDAC will figure them out for itself.
Understood.
Just on an answer you gave in response to Ms. Sello,
Yes,
you
sir.
said an error that you committed was not to apply was to apply the subjective test. The test is in fact objective. In that response, based on the answers you gave to me, and repeating the same thing a good few times throughout until your engagement with me, the distinct impression I got was that you've always understood the test to be subjective. Correct?
I understood the test to be the reasonable person test, which is an objective test.
Okay, I will not go back. I engaged you on the subjective and so on because you cannot marry subjective and objective. It simply can. Let me ask you this question. So throughout your understanding of section 27 was in accordance with the responses you gave when I engaged you. As to what those were, the transcript will assist us. Throughout, that was your understanding. It is only now that you have clarity as to what exactly the test is. That is a test which is not subjective as you suggested it was, or a test which does not seek to mix a subjective and objective test. It is simply objective. So before now, you had, I feel bad to have to use this word, but your understanding was this muddled view of what the test was, which muddled view came out as I engaged you. So that was your understanding until now, until during this engagement. Is that a fair suggestion to you?
It is fair.
Thank you.
Can I just say, Ms. Johnson, that even allowing for it was an error, you applied the subjective test because of your misunderstanding of the test that applies. Even on that, in this affidavit, insofar as 27B requires him to set out grounds, this affidavit doesn't set out any grounds. To say I received an envelope that has procurement matters, that's not a ground. It doesn't tell you anything about the contents the envelope. For all I care, those procurement documents may well not demonstrate anything wrong. So it's not clear to me when you say, well, I accepted because he's a member of parliament who serves in the portfolio committee, that when he says he has an envelope that is sufficient, you surely must know and understand that for you to say this falls within our mandate, you need to satisfy yourself with whatever it is he's relying on. So I don't accept that what you say is an error on your part of applying the wrong test, that it explains what happened here. It doesn't. Even on that error, I would expect you, as you understand the section, it says he must set out grounds, and he doesn't. He doesn't. When he goes on to say 4 other colonels who qualified or who are employed in crime intelligence, none of them were suitable to be appointed in this post. It doesn't tell you anything about this candidate that was appointed. It doesn't. So it is clear in 27B that he does need to tell you facts. Subjectively, he thinks those facts meet the test, but you have to know those facts before you say, yes, our mandate is triggered. You must agree with me. I must be correct in what I'm saying.
I'm not about to disagree.
Okay, thank you.
But you accept that as you sign, you accept that that you are satisfied with everything that's on here, including the annexures, that everything is what it should be, which is why you sign.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
So you did satisfy yourself that these names are correctly included in the summons?
I had no doubt sorry, my English escapes me. I had no doubt, I had no reason to doubt the briefing that was given to me by the investigator. So I didn't ask for a sorry, Counsel. I didn't ask for a document. I was satisfied with the briefing that I was given. That as an investigation team, they identified that this is the investigation that is outstanding. This is what they require for the investigation, and this is what it is that must be subpoenaed.
It sounds slightly different to what you have just said to the chair. I'd understood you to mean you satisfied yourself that there is not a name in Annexure B that ought not to be there because either there is no evidence supporting it. So I thought you satisfied yourself. But sounds like I misunderstood you. What you mean is that you satisfied yourself that the investigator who put these names before you had done their work. You took their word for it, and that's how you satisfied yourself.
That is correct.
2. And I would just, for purposes of completeness, indicate that IDAC is not aware of these cases that were made, be they by Mr. Matlala about theft, by Gatiso Molefe, the ballistic case, or any other case that has been made against any of the PKTT members. They are not allegations that IDAC is looking at. That was your testimony. But from the supplementary statement by the 3, that can be entirely correct, because that statement we just looked at page 3493, file 9, is specific about PKTT. So,
I see that, yes.
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 So
I wouldn't have seen the wouldn't have seen the supplementary.
I can accept that, but then it suggests that your investigators withheld from you some detail on some of these investigations. From the reading of your transcript at ad hoc, it would appear that you were not even aware that PKTT was being investigated or considered for investigations. I put it no higher than that.
Correct, and that is why when there were the utterances that
IDAC was involved in PKTT's business. I was taken aback because, according to me, there's nothing for us to look at in PKTT, regardless of what allegations may have come to the fore.
And if those were the allegations that you are hearing of, now that we have seen the supplementary affidavit at 3493, those claims were not entirely baseless now, were they? That IDAC is, what did you say you had understood, is interfering in PKTT? They don't appear to have been entirely baseless.
Yes, when you look at 3493.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.